All right, welcome to the Muscle Maturity Podcast, episode number 61. I am John Hansen. I'm here with my co-host, Samir Bannout. How you doing, Samir?
Doing good. Good seeing you, buddy, again.
Are you all ready for Thanksgiving?
We're going to hang out at home and do our things as usual. Mm-hmm. So more carb loading in general. Right. How about you? Going to visit mom and dad?
No, I'm going for Christmas, but not for Thanksgiving. So I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I don't really have any plans, so I don't know what's going on. But we got this beautiful weather out here in Florida.
You got your powerhouse family nearby, so you could all
probably hang out with them.
Get your chicken with Big Matt and Eddie.
Right, exactly. All right. Well, the main story this week, Samir, was the Prague Pro, which was an amazing contest. They had an unbelievable lineup. It was really wild. You know, we had all these contests leading up to the Olympia, and a lot of them were disappointing, right? I mean, a lot of them weren't that good. Maybe one guy or two guys were pretty good, but this show was really, really good. I mean, the top four were incredible. So Samson Wins. So this is his second win after the Olympia. He takes third at the Olympia. He won last week in Romania, and now he wins this one. And I think this was the best Samson looked. So So let me go to the top four real quick. So Samson was first.
Krizo was second. Coming in, moving in, man.
Yeah. The best he ever looked by far. And then we got this new guy who's now the talk of bodybuilding. What's his name again? I want to get his real name. Oh, Rubio Mascara. He's from Colombia. His nickname is Neckzilla because he's got a gigantic neck. So this was his pro debut because he got his pro card the night before. He did the pro qualifier the night before, I think on a Friday. And then on Saturday, the very next day, he does his pro debut and he takes third place. And then Nathan Diasha, who already won a couple shows this year, I think he's already won 11 pro shows now. He beats Nathan Diasha, and Nathan gets fourth. So let's talk about Samson first, because this was his second pro win, like I said, after the Olympia. He got third at the Olympia. He's going in the Arnold Classic next year. And I thought this was the best Samson ever looked, man. He looked really, really good. He was more cut, still had that size, great posing, good aesthetics, good symmetry. And maybe Scott can pull up his posing routine. Here we go.
Yeah, but man, look at the way he's standing.
I think he's gotten better.
He's
gotten better every
poser too, John.
Yeah, he's a really good poser. I like his transitions.
He's definitely looked better, John. I was impressed. And, the reason why he's better, he got slightly lighter. If you notice, he's not as big, but he's more polished.
Right.
And he could actually be more polished because he's dangerous, John. He's very dangerous. And, his flow is incredible. Yeah. And look at, he moves. He's more professional than the other guy. He understand transition. And you see his calves right in spot, right in place. He needs to turn his head to the right or to the left to bring more trapezius detail. But overall, you could see, you appreciate it when someone poses gracefully and make it look like bodybuilding. And this is the topic we talked about last week, that about posing is not judged. That's beautiful. We got to see, Samson, look at that. Beautiful. That's a beautiful pose. Yeah. That's a beautiful pose. So Samson is doing a very good job. The opposite of Krizo, who is still yet to get it 100% yet. But I love his body. I think Samson is a worthy winner. He deserves it. And congratulations to him. Good job.
Yeah, I think we talked about that with Krizo. How he needs more stage experience. And it seems like Samson's gotten so much more comfortable just in the last 2 weeks since the Olympia. I mean, he seems like he's moving way better. He knows how his body looks on stage. He's like really focusing on the transitions. He knows, like, look at it. Every pose in between a pose, he knows exactly what he's doing. And I noticed when he did his back poses, how he was even like throwing his arms down and flexing his whole back, so the whole thing was flexed in between the poses.
You see? Yeah, you're
it's like that.
definitely correct. You're correct, John. You hit it right on the spot. He's improving his positioning overall. I would like to see more detail and fibers in the delts. I'd like to see a little bit more thinner skin. He'll be more deadly. Believe me, if you get that 24K paper thin skin, it's going to be tough to beat at the Olympia. I'm telling you right now. If he get that paper thin skin, you know, I mean, he's huge, beautiful. He's moving gracefully. So I'm impressed. I mean, the improvement could continue in terms of quality. I think he's 21K right now. He can be 24, John. If you get 24, we're going to say, Lord have mercy, if you get to 24K. That quality.
Now, do you think he's competing too much? Because now he's going to do the Arnold, too, in a couple months. Do you think it's too many shows?
Honestly, I don't agree with that pose. The arms opening, I think they're making it mandatory. I mean, I don't like that. Do I think it's smart? I don't think it's healthy for him to continue to compete, because the thing is, John, when you compete more often, you need to take the supplement. We know what we're talking about. We need to take the gear. And when you take the gear regularly, it's going to affect your liver enzyme. So the absorption of the food, it become worse, not better. And it's going to end up costing you in the long run. So this is why Dorian Yates was smart about it. He would compete once a year. He didn't compete too much. Neither do Lee Haney. But if you do it too much, you tax your liver, you tax your kidneys. And I don't care how much precaution you are taking. To me, you abuse your body. You need to be aware that health is wealth, and that should be a top priority. Other than that, he's beautiful. I love his body. You know, focus on Olympia. You know, maybe the Arnold Classic, but doing too many shows is a no-no from my perspective. What do you think?
It kind of makes sense to do the 2 shows after the Olympia, because it's only a couple more weeks, you know, so it's not like, you know, it's not like months later. So he's already in shape, and Derek and Hadi aren't doing it. So he's going to be the front runner, and he won both shows. So he won some money. But I think the reason he's going to do the Arnold, of course, is the money. I mean, it's going to be 350 grand. So he's the front runner going into that. So he gets another 350 grand. I mean, he's stacking up some big paychecks, you know?
I agree with you, John. 2 weeks apart, not bad. But like, for example, we're talking about Diacha. He did so many shows. And you know what? Give your liver and kidney a break. Cleanse. You can't do that. Taxing liver and kidney. Come on, we have to be real. We're not going to blah, 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 run our mouth. Because whether you like it or not, there's a price to pay if you constantly, when your liver enzyme goes up, they go up, you know, what they call medically is the SGPT and SGOT. Once they're high, the absorption is not the same. And health-wise, it's not smart. So I'll tell Nathan, don't overdo it. Rest up. Want to be there for a few years? Take good care of your health. Yeah. Honestly, I mean, he's being impressive. But remember,
we've seen in the past too that it's hard to re-peak for the Olympia after you did the Arnold. You know, because it's only like 6 months apart, right? Yeah. It'll be March to October next year, so it's going to be tough, you know, to hit your peak in March and then re-peak again in October. So we'll see what happens.
If it's a simple re-peak, John, and you're not taking anything, it's different ball game. But the fact that you want that competitive edge, so you need to take what the other guys are taking. And this is the downside of bodybuilding, okay? This is the downside. Let's be honest here. So don't overdo it. You know, give your body a break. Take care of your health. Because your health is much better than the 10 grand you're going to win or 12 grand. Right.
So why do you think he's doing all these shows? Do you think maybe he's just trying to get as much money as he can and knows that maybe he's not going to compete for a long time, you know?
John, I want him to make money, but I want him to stay healthy. What's good is going to do you that money, and you're going to end up going to the hospital and have health issue. Don't do it.
Right.
Just don't do it. Use your head. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's very, very logical that you take this stuff constantly. You are taxing your liver and kidney, even if you're cleansing. It's not enough.
Yeah.
You need to let the body rest. Your mind needs to rest. So you will burn out. I know. I've only done it how many times? For God's sake, a lot. So
right.
they need to pay attention to health, John.
Yeah.
And I meant to ask you, the damage is being done, the toxicity. This is a topic we should touch on eventually during our podcast. But anyway, we'll move on to Krizo. You want to talk about Krizo now?
Yeah. So let's pull up some video of Krizo.
I'm very impressed.
I thought he looked better than the Olympia because he was too flat at the Olympia. I think he was trying to get too much condition. But here he's bigger, so he looks better when he's bigger because he's just got that big, wow factor with his body. He's got those crazy arms and the crazy body parts. So I thought this was a better look than the Olympia.
You are 100% correct, John. 150% correct. He is fuller. You can see the muscle is like plumpy looking. He's bouncing. You can see more detail. And the thing is, I've already said it before. Once he's more in the driver's seat, when he's presenting that body, this guy is still incredible. I mean, the guy is so good. He doesn't even know how good he is. He doesn't know. You and I have been there, done that. When we look, we talk, we're talking based on experience. You don't win the war you don't win the war if you have million tank and million airplane. You got to have a plan to win the war. He has to pose. And he could improve that. Oh, my God. I mean, I'm telling you. I'm not going to say me. I could help him do that. If he spent 1 month with Frank Zane and practice every day and really understand transition, positioning and stuff, I'll tell you, I'll put him in the top 3 in the Olympia. But he needs to do that because the pose can change things. He's in some poses, he open up and show weaknesses instead of twisting the proper way. You know what, John? There are things that needed to be done, and only masterful eyes can tell him. Whoever is helping him, they're trying. I know, Jean, but it takes heavy experience in order to be under total control in presentation. I mean, look, Lila Brada, Muhammad Makawi was 185 pounds, and Makawi was maybe 175 or maybe under. They were like runner-up in the Mr. Olympia. Now, Krizo is such a massive body, in incredible condition, but he doesn't fly his airplane properly. So this is still my same. I haven't changed my opinion about him. He's deadly good, deadly dangerous, and hopefully he could hear what we are saying and make the adjustment. And his stomach looks slightly fuller. He did something where he ate too much. But that's not so visceral fat. I can tell.
So besides his posing, what do you think he needs to work on? Krizo, besides his posing, what do you think he needs to work on with?
Look, John, I think he's massive and he's pretty balanced, okay? His torso is slightly on the, I don't know. I think he needs to just continue to do what he's doing, just improve his positioning in transition like Samson, okay? And look at how Samson doing the side chest. Perfect. Krizo's doing okay, too, with the side chest. His side chest is fantastic. His glutes are cut. His skin probably a little bit thinner than Samson. A little bit, but Samson is doing more professional. Samson is more professional. You can see it. It's clear. You see the position of the calf. He's not putting his calf in the right spot. You know what I'm saying? Samson is. Okay?
Yeah, I think Krizo needs to bring up his legs more. I mean, it looked like they were down in size a little bit this time, which is unusual because he used to have really big legs, but they didn't really match with his upper body this time.
Well, Jean, I think when you get to that extreme conditioning, there's always chance of losing lean tissue. So I think his size, his legs are pretty developed, but you can see the rip. He did lose a little bit of size from his legs, a little bit. On the other hand, what's his name? Rubio, right? He's got too much legs.
Yeah, we'll talk about him.
Fantastic condition, but too much legs, my friend. And so, but that's why Samson is ahead of the game. What's that, John?
What do you think Krizo needs to do for next year?
I think with his height, he's a big frame. I think he's the tallest. I think he could afford to put on 10 more pounds. Maybe he dropped too much and he's still not 100% full. Because when we look at his video on Instagram, John, we're like in a state of shock. The guy is huge and solid. I mean, he looks better on Instagram than on the stage, honestly. He could probably come in with 7-8 pounds heavier without losing quality, in my opinion. That's why his legs are a little bit on the flat side, I think.
I'll tell you,
what do you think?
He really improved. He really improved his rear double bicep. Man, what a change from last year. Jeez. He knows how to hit that pose now.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I think his back could still be better. But the way the muscularity he has in his back now, he knows how to hit that pose. That's like a really strong pose for him.
You're right. And I hope
he
will pay attention. No, you're 100% correct. But I hope he'll pay attention to his posing as much as the improvement he did to his back. If he does that, believe me, he's going to be more troublemaker. He'll be more dangerous.
Yeah.
What do you think of Rubio, John?
Rubio, so he's the new freak. He's the new freak.
What do you think?
He's the new freak in bodybuilding. So this guy is getting all the talk. He's getting all the talk this week. Everybody is freaking out about this guy. They're comparing him to like Big Ramy when he made his debut like over 10 years ago. And I've seen this guy on Instagram and stuff, like months ago. I saw him working out and he looked huge, but man, he shocked me when he came up on stage. This guy has got so much freaky muscle, especially his legs. He is such a freak. I mean, every once in a while, some freak comes along, and this guy is a total, mesomorph freak. He's unbelievable.
John, I don't even
the judges knew.
John, I have to be honest with you. He's very impressive in terms of muscularity and mass, but I think he needs to pay attention to create better harmony to his body. His legs are like incredibly freaky, impressive, but we need to talk about the overall balance. I mean, I think he should do less trapezius and maybe drop maybe a couple inches from his legs. It's like, come on. Look, I think Tom Plass really didn't win the Olympiad because his legs were too big. Okay? So I think Rubio, his legs are incredibly freaky. If you can have an upper body to match those legs, then I don't mind. But his legs are too massive for his upper body, Jean. Come on, And to say he's not good, no, he's good. He turned pro and he jumped in the third place like overnight. That's very impressive.
Yeah.
But I think he done that because of his condition was good. His condition was good. He's got tons of muscle, but I want him to focus on the following year by maybe improve his chest a little bit more, maybe not overdo his legs now, Jean. What do you think? Seriously.
Yeah, I think he's got one of those short leg, long torso physiques. So usually those kind of guys, they need to work on their back more. You see how his upper body is kind of like long. So I think he needs to work on his back. But his rear double bicep was really impressive. I mean, it's not like he's got a weak back, but I just think with his proportions, he needs more width. He needs to balance out those short legs. He needs more width in his upper body. And I agree with you, like more chest. His arms are massive, But yeah, he could bring those legs down because they are just so overwhelmingly freaky. That yeah, I think you're right, Samir. He needs to have better symmetry. He needs to kind of bring his legs down, because they're so massive.
And he was just standing with the guys, with Chris Cormier and the guys. His trapezius is sticking out without doing anything. That's an impressive shot, the ab shot. I mean, he's in good shape.
Yeah,
really, you have to congratulate him. Look at that ab. No, the guy is very impressive. But
see now Krizo needs to work his abs more. Look at how shallow Krizo's abs are compared to Rubio. Rubio's abs are so deep you could put your.
If Rubio wants to stand in the future next to Derek, he's gonna have a hell of a problem because Derek is put together properly, massive, but everything flow. Enough chest, good shoulders, good arm. So if you pay attention to your overall harmony, that's a plus. If you just want to get big at all costs, which is, look, Samson, I don't have a problem with Samson. This pose here, this ab shot on Krizo is terrible because his waist looked the size of Alabama on this side. So he could do this pose and twist a little bit, where he could actually show his waist smaller. So that wasn't smart. You got to understand how to do poses and look good. The best abs in this shot right here is Rubio. His abs look
one thing though, I'm glad all the guys are doing an overhead ab shot with both arms overhead. Nobody was doing a twisting pose. Nobody was doing a vacuum. They were all doing the pose the way they're supposed to do it. So at least I got to give kudos to the judging panel for making sure that happened.
No, I think the judges did a very good job in this competition because really the flow of Samson is wonderful. We talked about Samson since last year. We've been saying he don't need to be 300 pounds. Only need to be that etch. So look at Rubio's quality. Honestly, I'm impressed with Rubio's quality more than the guys, but they beat him on the overall balance, the harmony-wise. I mean,
look at Rubio's calves.
Unbelievable. Those are cows. Those are not calves. Those are cows, John.
You know what's shocking to me this week and last week is, Samson's now competing in Romania and in Prague. He was competing against a bunch of bigger guys. When we saw him at the Olympia, he was dwarfing Derek and Hadi. He was so much taller and bigger. But here, man, he's up against guys that are his height. So it was pretty wild to see that. Now look at this side tricep. Look at Rubio there. Oh my God, that is freaky.
I think this photo is in his favor, but not to say that he looks great. Delts look great. Chest looks great. I just would love to see his legs slightly less. I mean, look at his legs. It's way bigger than Krizo and Samson. Way bigger. And it's really not necessary, John. It's not necessary. And like you said, though, I think Krizo have lost. He's not ready in the pose yet because you can see his stomach is still relaxed. Even Samson's stomach is not even flexed here. But Rubio is 100% ready in that shot. And he looks good in that shot. He took that shot, Rubio, right here. I mean, he's genetic. He's freaky massive, man. And I like that quality. The last time I seen. Yeah, the quality is good too. You saw him in person?
And I know. No, I just said I just can't remember. No. I said I can't remember any last time I saw somebody with that much muscle. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, really. Huge. How old is he?
He's young. He looks young.
Mid-20, under 30.
Yeah. And he's working with Chris Cormier. So Chris Cormier showed him a lot of poses, and you could see when he does his posing routine, he's doing like 3/4 back shots, twisting shots. He was pretty smooth for his first. But I think he's competed in the IFBB and the other organization, the one by Raphael. So it's not like this is his first contest. He's been competing for a while.
Well, you can see Chris Cormier helped him with posing because he's doing a good job. I mean, Chris was a good poser, so you can see the influence. Yeah. Very good, very good. I'm happy for him. I mean, he got to be so happy and proud to be in the top 3 out of nowhere. He's in the winner's circle. He beat Nathan from the first try, so he's got to be good.
Do you think he should have beat Krizo? Do you think he should have beat Krizo?
Look, Krizo is his overall pretty good. See the legs, the way he opened his legs. Yeah. Rubio's putting his legs together. It's smarter. He looked better. Krizo's putting feet together. It's very smart, and he makes the body looks better. When Krizo opening his legs like that, he's creating holes. He's creating weaknesses. You need to put your feet together like Rubio. Okay? This is a big mistake bodybuilders do over and over. And they need to listen to us. They need to listen to me. If you want to create a beautiful line, you do not open your legs like too much. Why? You don't need to.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to say, oh, their legs are too big. They can't. Bullshit. Rubio have a huge legs, and he's doing it, and it's fine. And his body flow better because the feet are closer together. Come on. I wasn't born yesterday. I know what the hell I'm talking about. And Krizo need to do that. Krizo, look at how impressive Krizo on top. But for some reason, the camera angle, John, for those standing on this side, the cameraman is giving the advantage to the guys on the far right, though. So, I mean, come on. I mean, Krizo is not much bigger than that, these guys. But this camera, this photo is in favor. And like, you know, Samson got caught between poses. But, yeah, man. Oh, my God. Look at that. Look at that. The back. I mean, Rubio, right? Rubio. I like his body, man. I mean, I like his back pose right here. I like his quality.
Samson really looks. That's the best Samson's ever looked. Look at his hamstrings, his calves, the detail in his back. I mean, he's way better here than the Olympia.
Samson is definitely more professional.
Yeah, in
his positioning.
Yeah.
And look at Krizo's not flexing his hamstring here, but maybe he's still in between pose. Is he's not ready for the pose. But I think the best flex back in here, Nathan hitting the pose right, but I would go Rubio he looks pretty good in that shot. Him and Samson. Samson and Rubio take the shot. Yeah.
Kind of looks like Nathan kind of got outsized by everybody, right?
Well, Nathan needs to go rest up. He needs to rest up and come back fresh.
Right.
So do Krizo. Krizo needs to spend the whole year, be masterful with his presentation. If he does, he's going to be much more impressive the following year, John.
You think this will help Krizo for the Olympia next year because he takes second place? I mean, that's got a, you know, that's good momentum going into next year, right?
Look, we said it before that Derek's body, man. Come on, listen. Derek's body is unbelievable. I honestly don't think Derek peaked properly this time. He peaked pretty okay. No, I mean, if Derek hit 100%, the same line, Lord have mercy. Derek hit the back, not bad. The back was not bad, but his front was not. I expected him to be etched to the bone.
Right.
And to be honest, I still think his physique is unbelievable. And I think we'd pick him next year with Samson, and Hadi. I'm sure Hadi is going to come back with vengeance. So it's getting pretty interesting. But I just hope these guys will practice health along the way. Stay healthy.
Yeah.
That's why Nathan should go home, take a break, start doing some cleansing, and focus on his health. The same thing to Samson.
Well, Samson's got Arnold coming up in only a couple months, so.
Yeah, but again, that's still too early. You know, if it was 2 weeks, no problem. Well, Arnold is in March, right?
Yeah, first weekend of March.
Yeah, I hope he stay healthy. That's all I can say, man. It's not worth any money to ruin your health. That's all I'm saying. His future is his future is imminent, John. We're not gonna bullshit ourselves.
Yeah.
And I don't care who coach who. You know, sometimes me and Milos don't agree on everything, but he's got a guy who's really great. And if he keeps him healthy and bring him etched to the bone, onion skin, he's gonna be a force to reckon with. I mean, he's gonna be a badass. And so that probably Samson could big Derek in again a major fight. So let's see who makes the smartest decision of staying healthy and come back better than ever. So, John.
They had the.
John, we were talking about Urs. He won his class there in Europe, didn't he?
He won his class here. Yeah, he won the classic physique.
You see, last week we said Urs, he put on a lot of mass, and all of a sudden he lost all of it, and that's a big mistake. Mm-hmm. You don't want to build muscle that you're going to lose. Why are you building muscle and then you're losing it? Especially when you stand next to Bumstead, and whatever Bumstead is doing, he's getting hard like a rock, and he's not really looking. Bumstead is moving forward, and guys like Urs have a lot of potential, pretty body, but he needs to focus on making serious gain. He needs to bring those arms.
Yeah.
And I think he lost a few pounds of muscle. I think he did.
Yeah.
When you get to that,
he looked like
you get super short. He looked like what?
He looked like the easy winner here because he's just so polished. He's so ripped. Great poser, and
he's beautiful.
Who did he beat? He beat Michael Deboul is really good too, so he beat him.
Oh yeah. I saw him in New York. I saw Michael Deboul in New York, and I was very impressed. So I went there. It's a Steve Weinberger Powerhouse show, and I was very impressed. Very impressed. But I think Urs probably was slightly more shredded. I don't know. I wasn't there, but look if he have more arms, my God, he'll be awesome. Yeah, you can see he's slightly more ripped than Deboul.
Yeah, Urs needs to bring up his. He needs to improve his rear double bicep too.
Keep that photo on. I want to show you. When I said about Samson, if Samson get those fibers in his delts, in that deep striation, like Urs, that onion skin, honestly, it's going to be a major war with Derek, okay? I'm telling you. Samson's physique flows beautifully. But if you get that kind of skin, that paper thin skin, is going to be very tough to handle. But I know the formula to get him that skin. He's not doing the right thing. With all due respect to Milos, I think there is a way to get more that thin, fibrous muscularity. Fibers, you got to get the striation. And so anyhow, that's I would tell my buddy Milos to make minor adjustment to his peaking plan. I would say that, but I mean, Milos know it all. He's been there, done that. But anyhow, but I like that kind of quality, that Urs quality and Deboul's quality. This is what that's the quality we need in the Mr. Olympia. You know, I'm telling you, Derek, Mr. Olympia, Derek Lunsford, if he had that same paper thin skin in front, he's unbelievable. I mean, I think he'll be one of the best ever. Let's not blah, 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 talk bullshit. Derek is really, really, really good. And he makes a great Mr. Olympia, believe me. But you know me, when it comes to judging, sometimes I say things, never in a derogatory way, never in a disrespectful way. I have to say it like it is, hate me or like me, I don't care. I'm not going to kiss ass. I'm not going to say, remember we had this argument about Arnold in Sydney, Australia. He's my hero, but I judge him the way I saw it. Sorry, Sean Ray, you're still wrong. Anyway, anyway, look at Deboul. Looks really good. Really good.
Yeah, it looks really good. And he was peaked. Yeah, he's a good
Beautiful
bodybuilder.
body. I think he was a little bit bigger in New York. I think he dropped a little bit of muscle. He lost some muscle. You know how I can tell? Really, I look at his. You look at his neck. When the neck is not full, it's a sign of somewhat depleted, not enough fullness to the muscle. This is what Mike Menser used to tell me. He said, Samir, turn your neck. I go like this. And Mike says, oh my God, you shredded. You can see striation here. He said, Mike used to say, Samir, if I was you, I would go load up. Just load up. You know, I'm talking about the old school way.
Yeah.
But Deboul is beautiful.
Right.
Probably if he ate a little bit more, he'd probably have got more fibrous. He would have had more fuller. I don't know, but I think he's working with aceto, right? Isn't he with aceto?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, very beautiful body. I mean, I'm impressed with him. I saw him for the first time in New York, and I was very impressed. Yeah.
And Ahmad Ashkenani won the 212 again, so 2 weeks in a row he won, because he won last week in Romania too. Against the same guy that he beat last week.
Oh, okay. The same guy.
I thought he looked better this week. He looked even a little bit harder.
Let me see.
And he's got great size.
Ahmed have a good body, you know, and I really say to Ahmed to focus on staying healthy. Stay healthy, Ahmed. You know, you got a good body, and you know, he's got a lot of muscle. All he has to do, come in like paper, onion skin, and he'll do great.
Yeah.
This is a guy who, look at it. Yeah, he is better this week. Oh yeah. Yeah, I like to see separation in his size. He's not flexing his size. See, when you flex him, they look, wow. No, he looks better this month in this show.
I think he still needs to get his abs harder and stuff. He's still got a little bit of the stomach bloat, but I could see winning this week because he just has so much size.
Yeah, he looks fuller, and his overall balance not bad at all, but. And you know what's actually killing me now in some of those bodybuilders? That's a good shot. Yeah, he looks a lot better in this show than last show.
Yeah.
Very nice. Let's see. Oh, that's a good shot. Very good. That's what I want to see. If he have more separation in his upper thighs, he'll do great. Yeah, and he's more flex that right leg. Yeah, his left. No, he looks pretty good in that show. I wasn't really that impressed in that last show, but I'm much more impressed in this show.
Yeah. All right, and then
much down, man.
The other contest that took place last weekend was Sean Ray's show in Hawaii, and Logan Franklin won again. Logan Franklin won the Classic Physique, so I think this is like the second time I think he won. I think he won it last year too. So he's qualified now for the Olympics.
I've been exchanging texts with him. I mean, Logan got a pretty body, but, you know, he competed a lot lighter. I told him, I said, you know, Logan, it don't matter if you compete at 210 or 220. The bottom line is once you get super shredded, you need to fill up properly, whether you end up 217 or 212. The muscle has to be full. Look at our pretty body. Beautiful.
Yeah.
So he actually loaded properly, and he doesn't look bigger, but he looks great. And look at that. He can pose. I think he's influenced by someone. He's influenced by somebody, I guess. And I've been working with Logan for at least 2.5 years on posing, and everything was done meticulously. Oh yeah, I'm always with him talking. I mean, we're like FaceTiming, and look. I mean, he posed. Look at his transition, his confidence. Look at that, sliding into the show. Look at that.
Yeah.
See? He's an artist.
Yeah, he kind of poses like you.
He does. And you know what, John? I think if he put on 10 pounds of pure muscle, look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to see more beef on him. But I like his line, and he create line. You see how he create line in every pose. Look at that.
Right, right.
You know what it is? And he's not walking from one pose to another. Look at that.
Right, right. Oh, yeah. It's smooth transitions. Yeah.
Of course. That's what it is. That's why we call it the art of bodybuilding, the art of flexion.
Right.
He's in control. You can see it. I would love to see him
And
with 10 more pounds of pure beef on him because he's capable.
I think Sean Ray gives a best poser award too. So I think he made some more money with
He
that,
did?
right? Didn't he win that? Yeah, I think so.
I think his check was 12 grand. I think for best poser I don't know how much, but knowing
Yeah,
Sean, he'll give him maybe $500, not 5,000. Come on, Sean, give him more money. Yeah, that's a nice background. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Congratulations to Logan. Really, Logan is a good guy. He's very passionate. I know he got pissed off and he kind of regretted it in one of the show, but come on, we're human beings. Sometimes it's hard when you work your ass off and your body fat is so low under pressure. You could say a couple of things, but if you know him from close up and person, he's a great guy. He's very, very sweet and classy with people. Yeah. 12,000. Sean, give him more money, Sean. Make it 25. Great. And look at his stand. He looks healthy. Didn't he look healthier?
Yeah,
got that.
So he just needs more size then, right? He just needs more size
I would
win next.
He can easily put on 10 more pounds of pure muscle, Jean. Believe me, he'll be really, really good. Really good. Now he's very good as is. Look at that. Look at that. There's art. Looks like, he's stealing my poses, though. But he's doing a good job doing it. Sean, he's doing a good job. I mean, let's be honest. When he peaks right on the money, he's very, very good. Look at that.
Well, I love people.
It's like a la Ed Corney, a la Makawi, a la Samir, a la Labrada. Look at the foot. Yeah. Look at the feet. He's not sitting on his ass. On his leg. He's lifting up like an eagle. And this is what this is what separates a man from the boys. Look at that. Yeah. Elegant. And he told me, I think he was like barely I think he was like 216 or 17. I'm not sure. And he has up to he have up to 227, I think. But
so he can gain 10 more pounds. He can gain 10 more pounds in his class.
10 more pounds of pure muscle, John, he would be really, really, really dangerous. He'll be very, very good. He's very good now.
He's got 10 more pounds to gain and still be in his weight limit?
Yeah, he has up to 227, John.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's what he needs.
I can tell he's not as, he needs more mass, a little bit more. It's a pretty body to look at. You appreciate the art and the elegance, but I know he can put on a little more beef.
Right.
And this is what makes C-Bum so good. He's gaining and he peak properly and he keep, how can I say it? He's gaining muscle. Bumstead, he's gaining muscle. It's not like, he knows the fine line. He doesn't lose lean tissue. I think Logan did lose some muscle there, for sure. He had probably lost about at least 7-8 pounds of pure muscle. But
Logan lost muscle for this show?
I think he lost a little bit of muscle, yeah, for sure. Okay. I'll tell you, he competed, he's way lighter than usual, so. Yeah.
Well, one good thing is that he qualified for next year, so now he can just focus all next year on putting size on, because he's qualified for the Olympia now, right? Because he won the show.
I believe so. I believe so. I think now you have a whole year to put on some quality muscle, and he could. Right. I think he tried too hard, and honestly, we talk on a regular basis. He had he was a bit stressed out the past couple months. He didn't like what happened, and he felt bad about what happened. So his frame of mind wasn't 100% there until the final 3 weeks. I think Danny Hester also contributed, and so but I'm telling you, he's so driven, and I expect a lot more from him, for sure.
Okay. And then there was another classic physique guy who also qualified, Mike Sommerfeld. He won a contest in Colombia.
Can we see?
So he did well last year, but he did well last year, but he didn't do that good this year at the Olympia. So now he got his win already. So he's already qualified for next year. So this is how he looked this last weekend.
Look at that. Nice rib cage, small waist. Well, I need to put my glasses so I can see more clearer. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, he looks much better here than he did at the Olympia. He's much harder. He was big at the Olympia, but he looks harder here. So
I want to see more arms. More arms, a little bit more calves. But yeah, the arm needs to come up.
Yeah, he needs more calves for sure.
Yeah,
he's got
calves and arms.
He's got a real wide back.
But it's pleasing body, small waist and
yeah.
Not bad. William look at that. Nice rib cage.
Some people have said that he looks a little more like a bodybuilder than classic physique.
I don't know. It look more classic to me. Look at that. It's not bad. He can pose pretty okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, his calves could come up a little bit, and then his arm. Yep.
I think these guys are who are competing after the Olympia. They're making a smart move because they're getting their qualification. They're already in shape from the Olympia, and they just go on other shows now. Like this guy, he's got his qualification for next year, so he's all set. For the Olympia. Now he can just focus all year just on the Olympia, and it seems like a good move, right?
I think.
I wonder why more people don't do that. I wonder why more people don't do shows right after the Olympia.
I think you're right. If you do it and qualify, then you have the whole year to do it the healthy way and not let your body cleanse and relax a little bit, and then come back and look your very best ever. So that's the way to do it.
They're already in shape, so it's easy to peak a couple more times. You know what I mean? You're already in shape.
Yeah, I agree. It's a smart move to re-qualify quicker and have the whole year. Yes.
Right.
John, I was going to ask you, I know some of our fans out there would like to hear some topic about health. And I know we talk about competition, the good and what's not good, and we cover it from, without bias. I know you and you know me. We're not gonna pull for someone because we know him on a personal level. We just say it like it is. But I want to touch on a topic like the toxicity issue in the sport, because over the years we saw several athletes really perish. That's like boom, and it's due to abuse, John. And we really need to discuss the old school versus the new school, and what is okay and what is not okay. So I'm going to ask you, from your perspective, what would it be? I know you do things you're all natural, but I'm sure you know the game and you know things about this topic. And so, what would you do, Jean? What's your recommendation to maintain a healthy body and win competition? What would you do? I mean, we just talked earlier. Sorry to before you start. I'm talking about guys like Nathan Diach, who's competing over and over and over, and then we know that the gear has to be used. So, what, from your perspective, what would be a good approach to do things and remain healthy? What would you advise the guys?
Well, I don't know, what these guys are doing now or how they do it, but I know back in the old days, we're going way back to the 70s. I know guys would take off and not use the drugs for a big part of the year, and then they would only use them like when they were getting ready for competitions. But guys like Danny Padilla, he's like an extreme example. He would go work at his dad's grocery store in Rochester, New York, and he wouldn't even work out. He wouldn't even work out for 8 months. And
I lived with
then he
Danny
would
for
come to
1
California.
month.
Yeah. Then he would come to California 3 months before the show, and he'd get back on the juice and he'd start training and he'd blow up. And, I know Arnold did that a couple times too. So, that was healthier for those guys. And that's why those guys are still around today. They were competing in the 70s and now they're like 70, 80 years old and they're still around, They're not dying in their 40s and 50s like a lot of these guys are.
That's exactly what I wanted to ask. I lived with Danny Padilla when I moved to Southern California. I actually lived with Danny for a little over a month. He didn't even charge me rent. He's such a good guy. And I know when he used to work with his dad at the store in was it in New York? Where in New York? Albany? Not Albany.
Rochester.
Rochester, yeah. So I spent some time around Danny. Danny is a very smart guy. He's very smart. He's not only a gifted body, he's got a great body, really balanced. But I agree with you. Danny took a long period off. He cleared his liver enzyme. He stayed healthy. He checked everything. And that's why he's still around. And thank God. And look at Arnold. And then we say Arnold, the greatest of all time. And Arnold is like, 75 almost? 75, right?
76. 76.
76. Okay, we made him a year younger. But look at Arnold still doing his thing, still working out. And everybody was like pointing a finger, oh, Arnold doing this, Arnold doing that. And Arnold, and I personally talked to Arnold, and he was never an abuser. He took some stuff.
Right.
And so the toxicity conversation here, it needs to be addressed. It really breaks my heart to know guys like Nasser or somebody is no longer with us. It does break my heart to see, George Peterson no longer with us. And, and we can go on and on. Dallas McGraw. All these guys could have been here today, and they probably could have been Mr. Olympia, several. Flex Wheeler could have been Mr. Olympia. Sometimes people, you have to be rational, man. You have to take your time and look after your health. And the idea of abusing drugs is absolutely ridiculous. It is not necessary, Jean, to abuse what's being done. I swear, I sincerely mean it. I'm not a hypocrite. I didn't say, I didn't take. But how much you take and making sure you are checking your health, keeping your health as a priority. Well, you're speaking of that. Bill Purr just passed away, a year ago? Fallen off his tractor. Fall off the tractor. He didn't die from a health problem. It's an accident. Franco Colombo, he drowned. And Franco was, 85? Was it? Somewhere around 85. So
82,
it's
I think.
Different. It was in the early 80s, correct?
Yeah.
So that's why, Jean, we need to touch on this topic and really tell the kids, we're not saying don't use. You have to be rational. You have to find someone that's loyal, that's caring about your health and well-being. You know, Frank Zane, may God bless him. He's what? Frank's over 80 right now, correct?
Yeah,
Or
81. Yeah.
81. He's still going strong. He's going strong. And so longevity, you don't want to win at all costs. And the bottom line is health is wealth. You know what's funny? I was sitting with George Farah at the Olympia. We had a nice conversation. And, you know, I mean, some coaches, they get better as they move on and they start looking after their client's health. It is so important to keep your client healthy, to make sure they can compete again and again and be a champion for a decade, not for a year or two and then perish.
Yeah.
So really, we need to tell the kids out there, pay attention. There are toxic drugs out there that should not be touched. Go ahead, John.
I have another podcast, you know, Bodybuilding Legends podcast, and about a year ago we did a Chris Dickerson tribute, and I had Boyer Coe and Roy Callender on there, and it was funny looking back at their careers because Boyer and Chris were competing back in like 1966, 1967, and then they competed through the 70s all the way up to the 80s. I mean, that's like a 3-year, you know, 3 decades. They competed in 3 different decades. And Roy Callender, too. Roy Callender was competing in the 60s and early 70s against Boyer, and then he went all the way up until the 80s, you know, mid 80s at least. So, I mean, these guys competed for a long time together. Some of these guys today, they only last 5-6 years and they're done. Where those guys before were lasting like 25 years in competition, you know?
Well, John, look at you. You're 60 years old. You just turned 60 not long ago, right? So you're 60 years old. You don't look 60. And you know what? It's like people should understand that this sport can be done with health in mind. You could remain healthy and live a longer life. If you continue to go with your Anadrol and close your eyes and not disregard the danger, inducing, listen to self-proclaimed coaches or people that haven't been there. Wake up.
Yeah.
Wake up and look after yourself. Look after your health. You know, I'm serious. If you don't do that, don't expect to last too long. I'm telling you.
Right.
And I'm looking at you in the face. Don't abuse. Okay? Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's the greatest. I mean, the best bodybuilder, in my opinion, he's still my favorite. He was rational. I mean, look, you know, Arnold knows very well. And I don't kiss ass. I like Arnold a lot. And the thing is, every time he competed was in great shape. Only for Australia and Sydney, Arnold wasn't as good as the Arnold we know, from my perspective. But look at him. He's 76 years old. He's still doing movie and he's still looking awesome. He's happy, living life. But again, we go back to Dallas, 26 years old, losing his life because listening to some stupid advice. He's taking advice from the wrong people. Getting big at all costs is the stupidest thing you can do. Anybody can get big. John, you and I can go up to 260 if we want, right now. But will we be smart doing that? We won't be too. So you guys have to, health is wealth, and understand that some anabolic is very toxic. Some are very toxic, so be careful. Drugs will kill you. You ruin your kidneys. You lower your liver enzyme. And I know several friends who actually got major kidney issue. They have the kidney transplant. One not on my hand. And some of them, I swear, I gave them advice not to bother. Don't do ABC. No, they didn't listen. They went to the wrong coaches. And you know what? It caused them major issue. And this is what we don't want. John and I, we're representing the old school, but I sincerely want you to know our intention is to shed light on health here and improve your health and well-being. So you can be a champion and do it and have a long life, a long, happy life. And so, anyway, so, John, this topic is really unlimited. We could talk about it on and on and on and on, And so the idea, another thing I wanted to talk about, John, is the modern getting size is very unhealthy. Let me explain why. Everybody's going into the 1,000 gram of carbs. I'm not against carbs, but high glycemic carbs in conjunction with growth hormone and insulin is very, very deadly, okay? Because all ailment, all sickness start with all that sugar that you are taking to accommodate the use of insulin and GH, right, John?
Yeah.
And so by taking sugar and constantly feeding the muscle, hopefully you want to get more glycogen, more volume to the muscle, and the consequences are huge. So you got to understand that it's not smart to continue with excessive high glycemic carbs. Don't do it. You can grow slowly but surely. Choose more complex. Choose more high glycemic around workout without taking the stupid insulin. You don't need it. You don't need it.
Right.
It was offered to me, Jean, before even Milos heard about insulin, okay? And I'm not going to brag about that part. That's why Milos and we always disagree. He said, I'm willing to debate. I said, John, I told him, I said, Milos, I don't want to debate about this topic. This topic should not be even there in bodybuilding. Because if you go that route, then we go into the healthy bodybuilding, the unhealthy bodybuilding. I want to go to Bill Pearl route. I want to go to Arnold Schwarzenegger route, which is we ate, but we didn't really force glycogen, Nutella, sugar. And so this is why these guys dying too young, believe it or not. That's one part.
Yeah.
Another part we don't talk about too is dehydration. Because, we can go on and on, but please, guys, be extra cautious. Don't listen to just anyone. And if you want to use insulin for one contest, you do it with an experienced guy like Milos. Don't do it on your own. Milos will know how to, maybe keep you safe for a show. I'm against insulin anyway. But you use insulin the wrong way, you're really looking for a major health issue in the long run, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. And, all right, well, we'll talk about more.
We can talk about more of these
topics.
Well, that's why we are old schooler here, John. We've been there, done that. We are here to really bring awareness. Nothing really. There's no personal. It's not no personal gain for me from telling you what I'm telling you. It just said I want to contribute. Jean and I want to contribute. And if you want a good coaching, go talk to guys like Jean. Look at John. Look at how he looks at 60. And it's easy to make your assessment and go the route of health and do it the healthy way. Enough of that for today. Right. So
I mean bodybuilding was originally created. People may not know this, but when bodybuilding first was created, it was created to build a healthier body through nutrition and working out, which is what it's supposed to do. That's what it's supposed to do for everybody. But, when you get into the competitive scene, it gets crazy with the drugs and nobody wants to give anybody else a competitive edge. And then, before you know it, you got guys dying in their 20s and 30s,
Yeah, you're 100% correct. This is something should be kept in mind because you can build a healthy body. Believe me, you can build a healthy body to take you up to over 90. You can, but you got to be rational. You just don't go blindly with just anybody. Okay? Just do it. And keep it old school, because really, the old school way, again, is the best way, the healthiest way, the safest way.
Absolutely.
And who do you want me to tell you? Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sergio Oliva, Frank Zane, Bill Pearl, all these great. I mean, Bill just passed away yesterday by accident. So follow this route and stay healthy and live long, enjoy life. So keep it old school.
All right, Samir. Well, have a great Thanksgiving, everybody out there. Have a great Thanksgiving this week if you're celebrating Thanksgiving, and we will see you guys next week.
Happy Thanksgiving to you all, and God bless, and stay healthy, stay awesome, and keep it old school.
All right.
Good chatting with you, John.